Hi, thank you for joining me for today's process video, and today I'm scrapbooking a photo from 10 years ago. This came up on my Facebook feed today as I'm recording this, the 3rd of December, and it's a picture of myself and the children when we arrived in Lapland. We took them for Christmas one year. It was magical. The photo is very, very dark because in Finland they don't get a lot of light in December, and by the time we'd arrived and got to our little town, it was covered in darkness. So Ross snapped a picture of us on the path on the way up to the hotel. So you can see here I decided to use some Distress Oxide in Evergreen Bough, and I just watered it down and then used my brayer to spread that ink all over the left hand side in a larger portion and then the right hand side in a slightly smaller portion. And now I've pulled out this Vicky Boutin stencil and I'm just pushing some iced spruce ink through that to add a little bit of texture to the background. So it's just one photo that I've got today. It's a 4x6, and as I say, it came up on Facebook, so I just printed it from there and I wanted to document it. This is a photo on Ross's phone, and he never thinks to send me his photos. He's much better now. When I ask, he'll always send them over, but at the time he was terrible. Didn't think that I would want them for my scrapbooking. So it's nice to have this photo. So I just wanted to create a nice background, and then I'm going to use some strips and a new cut file that we've got on Hey Little Magpie that says Winter Wonderland, and you can probably just about see that in the background. It's going to go up the left hand side of that photo. So I've gone through my box of Christmas and winter stash and realised I've hardly got any winter. It's almost all Christmas. But I did have a few bits and pieces of papers from old collections, and I've made it work. So first of all, this is a piece from either Echo Park or Cartabella. I think it was Echo Park. This piece is actually a Christmas one from Cocoa Vanilla Studios. But I really like the pinks and teals and navies for this layout. They go nicely with the colours in the photo. So I've cut a piece of that navy wide enough so that the cut file will sit on it, and then a longer strip of the pink is about 11 inches long, and then I'm just going in with this teal piece. I think this was a Simple Stories collection, Feeling Frosty possibly, and then so is it. This is from the same collection. With little hearts all over it, so just a smaller strip of that to add to the right there. And I want to layer them carefully so that you still see some of that mixed media peeking through. So now I'm just going to build up the block on the right hand side. I just want to do the same thing with some strips of paper, and I was going through my drawer just before I started this and I found a set of wood veneer from Ellie's studio called Good Cheer, and it's from back in 2014 because it had a banner on it saying December 2014, so I'm going to use that on the right hand side. So just adding those strips. That black and white strip was just loose in my box of Christmas and winter papers. I think it's a Vicky Boutin strip, and it was just as it is there, so I thought that would work as one of the strips. So now I'm just going to go through and distress all of the edges on all of these pieces just to create a bit of texture and dimension on the page. So as that's distressed, now I can stick that down. I'm just using my T-square to check that that is straight. It wasn't quite straight, so I'm just literally using the width of the ruler on the left-hand side and then putting that down. So you can see the title much more clearly now. That's, as I say, it's a cut file that's available on Hey Little Magpie, either as a downloadable or a printable. And they're very reasonable, if I say so myself, so do go and check them out. So I wanted to bring in that acetate that you can see behind the picture there. I couldn't think what the word was, but I just wanted to create a little bit of a border as well. So I've gone in with some white tissue paper. I haven't done this for ages. I used to do it all the time, just to create a white border. I tried tearing it, but I wasn't entirely happy with the look. So I've left some bits torn and some bits I've just trimmed off with my scissors there. So now sticking that down onto that beautiful acetate. I think that this is either Vicky Boutin or Paige Taylor Evans from last year. Probably Vicky Boutin. So just trimming that out, and then I can get that stuck down. I am going to add foam pads behind that just to raise it up a little bit. But I decided that I didn't want to keep the cut file as a stark white. It did look nice in the white, but I wanted to bring some colour in. So I've grabbed my Tattered Rose ink from Tim Holtz Distress Oxides, and I'm just blending that onto the top half, well, the top third of the cut file using our new blending brushes at Hey Little Magpie. If you're in the market for some blending brushes, these are absolutely fabulous. I've been trying them out before stocking them. They're absolutely wonderful, and we sell them in a set of 5 for £6.99, so very reasonable too. So I've got the Tattered Rose ink on the top half, well, top third, and then I'm using the Evergreen Bough again on the bottom third. I want to keep the middle of it white, and that creates a really nice interest to that title, and it also mimics the colours that I've got going on in the papers that I've chosen for this layout. So continuing now, distressing these edges, and you'll see I offset this one ever so slightly to the right of that navy blue strip so that you can still see the mixed media that I added to the background peeking through. So you can see there's a little gap, and then this one I overlap on top of the pink. So it's just creating different dimensions on the page and keeping that interest there. So just distressing all these edges now and getting this teal one stuck down. As I say, it'll overlap that pink one, and then the last strip will go down after that. And again, leaving a gap between the two for that last strip. Almost there. Doesn't take long. And then using my ATG just to get that stuck down. And you can see I've left quite a gap there because I didn't want it to be too far from the right hand edge of the photo. So I'm just going to use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to get this title stuck down, just run it all the way across the edges of this cut file and then get that stuck down on the blue. And that really makes it pop, having it on that blue paper. So do check out the cut files that we've got on Hey Little Magpie. There are lots to choose from. I don't do hundreds, but the ones that I do create and Amelia creates are really quite usable. So I just wanted to add a different type of texture, and you saw me doing this on a layout the other day. So I'm just stapling a couple of bits of string at the bottom of the strip and then stapling the ends at the top as well. And again, that just brings a little bit more interest to the page. You could use lace or bobbles or anything, a chain, anything really, just to create a bit of interest. So here are my foam pads. These are the 25mm Sticks 2 foam pads, and I'm just going to use 6 of those to stick that photo down securely. And then I can move on to the right hand side of the layout. And at this point, I don't really have much of a plan for what I'm going to do other than these strips. And I wanted the 2 distinctive sections, one on the left and one on the right. But I do go through my stash and find the Simple Stories sticker book from last year's winter collection, which works really nicely with these papers. So I'll pull that in, and there are lots of snowflakes, wood grain snowflakes, so I'm going to use those. So just get these 3 pieces stuck down, and then I can get that December 2014 wood veneer from Ellie's Studio stuck down on there. Overlapping those 2, and then leaving a gap between for this last piece of Vicky Boutin paper. And it's been great digging through my scraps again. These are just the scraps in my Christmas box, and it's been lovely to use a little bit more up that's not in a collection. I do like pulling things together like this sometimes. Collection scrapping is always easy, isn't it? Because you've got everything there to hand rather than having to go through all your bits and pieces, but sometimes it's fun just to see what you've got. So you can see there the D had fallen off. It snapped at some point. I mean, I've had this 10 years moving it round and round my house, so it's easily fixed. I just glue that on separately and you'd never know. Looking at it now, you can't even see the join. So here's the chipboard for that Simple Stories collection that I was talking about, and I just find a few little bits to add. It's well and truly stuck to the packaging, so I end up having to tear the packaging to get into it and pull this word phrase out first of all, but then decide it's just too many wordy bits adding that. It might have worked if I'd tried to put it on later, but adding it when I had so many words already on the page and not much else, it just didn't work for me. So lots of snowflakes for this, because obviously we're in the snow. So I find this little circular chipboard with a snowflake on. I've had a little pink heart to the right hand side, and then another little snowflake at the bottom there. And now I'm coming into the sticker book from this collection. Straight away I see the alphabet and realise that I've got enough to spell out Lapland. So I'm going to put that above the December 2014. It's quite subtle. You can see it quite clearly in real life. On the film, it's a little bit more difficult to see, but it looks really good. It just fits in perfectly there. And I've lined the D up with the end of the wood veneer. So then I find a little word phrase sticker which says Winter Memories and add that, again lining it up with the right hand side of that December 2014. I've also had a little one that says Paradise on the bottom right hand corner of the photo there. So I'm just starting to build up the embellishments nicely. And here's that lovely sheet of snowflakes that I was talking about. They're all a rustic wood grain, and I'm just going to stick those all about the left and right hand side, trying to keep that gap in the middle so there's two distinct parts to the layout. So just another one at the top, and then looking through to see what else I can find. So flicking all the way through. There's so much in this book, I definitely need to dig back into it. But then I find a tab and it says winter time, so I'm going to add that at the top with a craft one that I've punched from my e-case that says tab punch, just to add my date to. And then I find a little circular element that says just chill. I'm going to add that there. So that's the sticker book done. And then I'm going to glue down these chipboard pieces that I just sort of dropped on the page. I wanted to make sure to see what else I had before committing to those. So there are those. And then I'm going to come in with my sequins. This is a pot of sequins that I put in our 12 days of Advent box last Christmas. And loads of different sizes, some teeny tiny 2mm right the way up to 5mm. And they're all in the right colours for this layout, and the snow really sparkles and shimmers, so I wanted to add these all about the page. I won't make you watch me do it all because I do get a bit carried away, but they really add to the page. Hopefully you can see them there. Then I'm coming back into that Christmas cheer or good cheer chipboard, wood veneer from Ellie's Studio, and there's a little word here that says peace. I mess about a little bit but decided to put it at the top of the page there. And then another one that says joy, and I'm going to add that onto the photo, just like that. So again, using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, this is brilliant for gluing things down. Just getting those bits stuck down. There's a little snowflake circular wood veneer as well that went on the bottom there. And then using my roller date stamp, I'm going to add the date, but this time I'm going to use the evergreen bow rather than using the usual black ink. I just thought the black might be a little bit too in your face at the top of the page there, so that evergreen bow will work really nicely. Just tidying up a bit as I go. And then finally I decided that I did want a border around this page, so I'm going to come back in with a tattered rose and just blend it all the way around the edge of the page, and it just provides a really nice subtle frame for that layout to sit on. So just blending in from the edge right the way around. I won't make you watch it all because it's pretty monotonous, but there we go. I've gone right the way around the page, and that's it done. I hope I've provided some inspiration. Do check out our cut files. Do you use cut files? Let me know. I'll see you soon. Bye.